Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. The topic of this 10-minute moan is the quite frightening news that shots were fired at yesterday's Orange Order Boyne celebration parade in Glasgow. And what's even more shocking is some of the responses to the shots being fired at the Orange Order's Boyne celebration parade in Glasgow. So first thing I want to do is I want to look at the news and tell you what's happened, and then discuss some of the quite disturbing responses to this. Where some people think it's actually quite good, and that's disgusting. So the story has been covered by a number of outlets, and I'm going to use the Sun for reference here. And the reason being that we get one of the fairest headlines, because some of the headlines actually suggest there was arrests at Glasgow's Orange Walk yesterday, when indeed, as you'll see with this story, there wasn't. So their headline is March Drama, Chaos as Weapon Fired at Glasgow Orange Walk amid urgent cop probe into parade incident. And that was published this morning and updated thereafter. Members of a huge orange walk through Glasgow with that doesn't make sense. Members of a huge orange walk through Glasgow fired at with an air rifle as they marched through the city centre. Might want to edit that again, son. Thousands of marchers took to the streets yesterday for the County Grand Orange Lodge of Glasgow Boyne celebrations. Around 3,600 people were taking part in the event, which consisted of 4 marches starting in different parts of the city. The 4 groups then merged together in the city centre. I think what you need to do there is you need to check that. That's probably 3,600 people actually on the march. The people standing watching it and observing it and enjoying it would have multiplied that figure greatly. So that's an amazing amount of people in one march. 4 members of the march were hit with pellets from an air weapon. They were hit while the march was on Sauchiehall Street at the junction of Kelvingrove Street. Nobody hit with one of the pellets needed medical attention, thankfully. Cops are currently probing the incident. Police chiefs also confirmed nobody was arrested during the Glasgow marches. Now, that means somebody in Glasgow takes what probably has an air rifle to take pop shots at people in a march. Now, this is Glasgow, let me remind you that we're told Glasgow welcomes all. Scotland, in fact, welcomes all. We are inundated with protests most weekends telling us refugees welcome here, everybody's welcome here, we should have all these new Scots. Everybody, indeed, is welcome in Glasgow. Well, that appears to be, unless those people happen to be Unionists, Protestants, Loyalists. They seem not to be welcome in Glasgow because these people, which includes me, tend to have anything they say described as racist and fascist, Islamophobic, all these things. When you have an opinion on anything, and I'll give you an idea of that. I recently I've attended 5 speaking occasions over the last 18 months in public rallies about concerns that we have for child abuse, knife crime, lack of houses, much immigration, not immigrants, too many high level of illegal and fake asylum seekers. And when you do these things and you speak in public, you're often, and it's happened to me in the streets of Glasgow, you're told that you're a fascist, Islamophobic, racist. Which is bizarre, because I don't know how anybody can oppose and counter protest when people are concerned for the safety of the children in our streets. We're told often that that's racist, Islamophobic, fascist, far right, and the mind boggles. And I'm going to speak at an event in Peterhead in August, and I hope as many people can support that event because it shows that right across the whole, not just of Scotland, but the United Kingdom, a fair chunk of the people have the same concerns. And that's already been told it's going to have a counter-protest. Well, isn't it a weird world we live in? When we have to welcome everybody, everybody's allowed their opinion unless you are a unionist, a Protestant, or indeed a loyalist. And some of the stuff that I've seen on social media today is just pretty horrific. And like adults telling us that is it only 4 that get shot? You must try harder. I'll just go. This is I'm going to share this with you. Where are we? If I do this, take off that one and add on share screen. I'm getting round this eventually. Right, so here we have, this is STV, their tweet about it earlier on today. And for the safety of the minority called unionists, so the minority of people in Scotland are now unionists. Well, that kind of doesn't bear fruit when you look at the last referendum, where the unionists won, right? But they're now the minority. All Orange Order marches should be cancelled. Stop these FGSs. You'll have someone eye out. That's good. Where was the one? Oh, look at this. Somebody's suggesting they should machine gun them. And there was another one. Oh dear, never mind. Look, this is a woman, Norma. Oh no, I really hope this doesn't become a new trend, wink wink. Suggesting that this should be the normal. Dave for the renting, only 4. For fuck's sake, poor show. This is all welcome in Scotland. Fantastic, clapping hands, Mark. I'm yes, Indie Ref too. That's a shocker, Mark. Imagine that. This guy, he just thinks it's funny. There's somebody with a wee bit sensible saying, well, it sounds sensible, this guy, right? Whatever you think the Orange Walk, that's outrageous, should be condemned universally. Only fucking 4. This is Scotland. That's nice. Look, Jacob, ha ha ha, brilliant, right? So it kind of shows itself up for this thing where Scotland, every person is welcome. And look, another one. Unless, as I say, you're either a Protestant, a Unionist, or indeed a Loyalist. Bullseye, shocking. There we go. Somebody with a bit of decorum about them. Only in Scotland is anti-Protestant bigotry accepted and normalised. Far-right bigots now think it's okay to attack them with weapons. It's a good idea calling that mob far-right. Only 4. Stevie Wonder, the shooter. So that's kind of where we are in Scotland and society. Where people out, regardless of whether you take part, enjoy, agree or disagree with these things, these people are out celebrating something which is actually not as clear cut and is defined as a battle of the Boyne in 1690, which many think one side of the river was all Protestants and one side of the river was all Catholics. It's actually not true. And I'm actually going to do a video to go out next week about the real story of the Battle of the Boyne. I mean, people want to actually celebrate this. It should be celebrated by more than just members of the Orange Order. Let me give you one step for a hint. Many people thought when King William won the Battle of the Boyne, then Catholicism would be banished from the United Kingdom. But William was very stern in his response to that, and he said, no, I fought that battle for religious freedoms, not to force my religion onto others. And he who won the battle actually said people should be free to celebrate any religion. So people of all faiths should be celebrating the Battle of the Boyne victory, because if that battle had been lost and James's troops had won, then we would have only had an island with only one faith allowed. And the people in Scotland who are mocking this, who are firing these things, are telling us that we must accept all faiths from all around the world. Yet if that Battle of the Boyne had went the other way, Britain would have been a single faith and a single stream of a faith country. So many more than the Orange Order should be celebrating the Battle of the Boyne. But more to come of that next week when I put out a video telling people the truth behind the Battle of the Boyne and actually William of Orange's reign. Because it was mental the amount of stuff that he'd done that's affected us to this day. Yet people mock him and those who support him. So if you enjoyed this video, thumbs up, please, comments below, and hit share. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell. But more important than all that, unless you're the type of person that thinks shooting at people, probably outside your window, passing, having celebrating their own tradition, their own communities, then not you.
Everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.